Damn, this lighting's quite nice. Let me just set this up. Yeah. Alright. So, did you guys ever have any of those they were like these assemblies in school where they'd get someone from Lifebuoy. So for me it was Lifebuoy, and this happened back in like second grade. It was for kids who were up to 7 years old, I think. So that must have been what, third grade, I think. Yeah, so kindergarten to third grade. This was when I was in second grade. So they made us all sit in the assembly room area, and they sort of had this guy from Lifebuoy come up, and he gave this whole, I don't know if he was like someone who worked for the company or a doctor or whatever, but I very clearly remember him having this whole presentation of, how to keep your hands clean, why it's important to keep your hands clean, how easily infections spread and things like that. um so yeah, we had one of those, and unfortunately it was actually like very exciting, and all the kids were talking about it afterwards. So it was like really sad because I actually ended up getting there super late, so I missed like 85% of the presentation. And turns out that when I got there, by the time I got there, they had already given, so they had like a massive box full of like um a bunch of products, and they had like these little notebooks which you could fill in and draw in. So they had all of those, and they ended up giving all of those before I came, so it kind of just broke my heart. And yeah, that was very depressing point in my life. I think that's where the mental illness started, because I, I was just so heartbroken from that whole experience of not getting my thing. I did have a friend, but he turned out to be a fucking snake because he already drew in the books that he got from me. So he told one of the teachers that, oh, Abhik isn't here. You can give this to me. And fucking snake, he took them home as well, and then he drew in them. And then when I went there to get them from him, he gave them to me. And then when I got home, I opened it, and they had fucking scribbles and drawings on them. And he didn't even get all of the things from me, so he only ended up getting like a little hand sanitizer and a little book. And this happened in second grade. And just the fact that I remember it very clearly, there's something fucked up about it, right? It was like my first legitimate like traumatic experience. Anyway, so then, yeah, so that kind of brings me to the actual point of this. So one thing that they always had in those assemblies, like all of the people over there, they always like insisted on, was that whenever you brush twice, once in the morning and once at night. No, yeah, it was thrice actually. You brush once in the morning, once in the afternoon, once at night. Okay. And I think they did that to like make kids feel worse if they didn't brush thrice or twice, even twice, because a lot of kids didn't. A lot of kids still don't do, by the way, which I'm talking about my sisters. It's fucking filthy. But anyway, so they always said that you have to brush your teeth a certain amount of times per day, and then they also mentioned that, let me get my toothbrush, that there is there is supposed to be a pea-sized amount of toothpaste on your brush. Now, I'm very confident that most of you have heard this, because if you haven't, then you just didn't have a real life as a child. You didn't have a childhood. You didn't have the right quality experiences that would make you into the human being you are today. And maybe that's why some of you are fucking sociopaths. Okay, so they always said have a pea-sized amount of toothpaste. So a P like being, man, I'm gonna turn on my light. So a P, so being like this much, right? Like that much. I wanna waste toothpaste. So that's what they always said, right? And I followed that for, I think, like at least 10 years. I feel like, not 10 years, I feel like 8 years. So I always took only a pea size amount of toothpaste, okay, up until I was in, I think, 8th or ninth grade, right? And then at some point, I think I was taking a shit, which this exactly happened to me today, by the way. I was taking a shit, like getting ready for school, and I was bored as hell. So like right next to me was the sink, and uske niche they had the toothpaste. So I grabbed the toothpaste and I started reading the back. I was reading all the marketing stuff, like it says, oh, this does this to your gums and everything. And then I started reading the user's directions. Now, over here it says, brush at least twice a day with full brush length toothpaste. Visit your dentist regularly. For children below the age of 6, use a pea-sized amount under adult supervision. Do not swallow. Now, it says under the age of 6, and I was doing this until I was 12 or 13. It's just not that. You can't have a whole ass assembly and tell me that I'm supposed to brush my teeth a certain way, and then you don't tell me that I'm only supposed to brush my teeth a certain way until a certain age. That is not fair, and there is something seriously wrong with society if you think that that is okay to have, and makes me really mad. And now I'm expected just to kind of learn myself that, oh, you're actually supposed to use the whole length. Like, oh, even over here it says, okay, no, it doesn't say it here, but my point is that they just kind of expect us. And no, wait, that actually adds to my point, because they just kind of expect us to use the full fucking length on our own. It makes no sense. It's so stupid. Why if they're gonna educate us at a certain point in our life about something, you have to uneducate us about that first thing and then teach us the second thing, so we know what is right. It is absurd, and it makes me so mad. This is not fair. And I will genuinely be surprised if you guys haven't had like the same experiences, because it is actually so wrong. And if I'm the only one who's had this experience, then I will genuinely be heartbroken, and I'll feel like I am the only person in the world who has to deal with all the terrible, painful things in life. It's not fair. But yeah, fuck toothpaste companies.